Hey friends! Today I'm going to do something a little bit out of the norm. I'm going to do just a quick run through of our favorite school supplies. Now this really is based on my kids' ages right now. So my kids are 9 and about to turn 14. These are the things we love. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I homeschool my 9-year-old. He will be in 3rd grade. And my about to turn 14-year-old in September is going into 8th grade in middle school. And he has always been in public school. So these are the things that we love. I have always loved the Ticonderoga pencils. I buy them in these big packs from Amazon usually, not even when it's back to school time, because the prices usually rise on Amazon for back to school time, which is the opposite of in the store, I know. But I like how they come in all these little boxes, so if you have to send them to school when your kids are younger, we don't have to do that now anymore. You just have 12 in a box. You can send the right number and have plenty at home for you. These are unsharpened, but I never mind that. We have a great electric sharpener and a great manual sharpener. I will feature that in this video too, which is one of my favorite things because both my boys seem to tear up pencils. Even my older, very mature one. They either break off erasers, they chew on them, they scrape the wood off the outside at school. I'm not sure why. I mean, they get bored. And so we go through so many pencils because they're cheap. And I figure that they, with all the work they do, they're allowed to, have a brand new pencil, even if they have torn theirs up sooner than I think they should. So these are our favorite pencils by far. The lead is the best to me. They write the best. They sharpen the best. Everything about them is the best. That's just my opinion. And this is from being a teacher too. Of course, I haven't taught for 14 years, but I did teach school for 3 years before I stayed at home. And these have always been my favorite pencils. Of course, go ahead and compare the Amazon price to like the Target or Walmart price while you're in there. Get whichever one is cheaper. But like I said, I usually don't even buy these at back to school time. I stock up on them on Amazon at other times of the year, just when it looks like a good price or we might need them at that time. Okay, this may seem like a weird thing. I'll just show you on this chalkboard, but because I homeschool, or if you have little kids that like to practice their spelling words on chalkboards after school or whatnot, if you have little kids that like to write on chalkboards, they sell a zero dust chalk. Now, I've used other brands than this before. I didn't even buy this brand. My sister bought this brand and gave it to me when they went on the road because she couldn't take it with her. I have a brand that I threw away the box from, so I'm not sure what my brand is. But this zero dust chalk really does not put much dust. And sorry, I'm not so neat at writing. There's all different brands. This kind of feels like butter. It feels like writing different. It's really smooth. The other zero dust chalk I have feels more like chalk. But this one's great too if you can't find another one. But as you can see, my other one put off a little bit of dust that I used. I don't have the box, so I didn't know the brand. This zero dust chalk is really like butter. I guess that's why they named it like that. Because it is literally putting off almost zero dust. It feels different. It's really smooth. And what I wrote my words here was with my zero dust chalk that I don't know the brand on, that I've had for so many years, and I don't have the box anymore. But zero dust chalk of any kind. Search it on Amazon, Hobby Lobby. If you are going to write on chalkboards at home, I highly recommend that. Okay, we're just going to go through some things in my homeschool son's school caddy. This is his school caddy. This is a caddy that actually I had an extra from teaching kindergarten that many years ago. This one never got used, so it didn't get destroyed by the kids at the table. But I've had it for like 14 years, so I couldn't even tell you where we got it. But, it's just one of those caddies with a handle. And we have stuck jars in here, mason jars, to hold all his supplies. Because we don't have a homeschool room since I just homeschool one child. So we can just stick this down in a cabinet and pull out this caddy every day, set it on the table, and he's ready to go. It has scissors, glue sticks, everything. So we're going to go through some stuff in this caddy right now. We love these Mr. Sketch scented markers in the smaller size Years ago, you used to only be able to find these in the big fat size, and you can't really write with those as a little kid doing work. But these are, let's see if I can show you, a smaller tip. Now, it's not a super fine tip or anything, but I let my son do work with them or grade his work or color stuff in with them because they are fun. They smell so good, even to me, and they're just fun. We get a new set almost every year. Although his set from last year, he actually treated pretty well, and only one of the colors is destroyed. So I don't even know that we're going to need to break into this new set at the beginning of the year. But this goes in a jar in his caddy. Let's see, I'll show you. It's actually a mug, these. And this is actually a set from last year, and only this color was destroyed. The tip was pushed in, but that's the only one that he destroyed, and all the rest were writing well. I tested them. So like I said, I don't think we'll need to open our new package. But that is fun if your kids are doing homework, studying spelling words where they don't have to turn it in, like they just have to study their spelling words, or they just need to work on writing, but it's not something they have to turn in. Let them do it with something fun, because that is just so much more motivating. So I understand if they have to turn in their work, they can't use this, but for homeschool, that is one of the perks. All right, we love friction pens for school also, because pens and colored pens are fun to write with, and this way you can erase. So my son uses these a lot for homeschool, and my older son uses the basic colors, the black, the blue, and the red for middle school, because you can also erase with those. So these are nice to have for once you get old enough and they let you start using pens in school, or for homework, if you're allowed to use pens, or just for fun work at home. If you have little girls that love to draw and doodle in books and stuff, my boys never did, but these pens would be great because they can draw and doodle and take away their mistakes. So you can get these at any Target, at Walmart, on Amazon. You can order just black or just the basic blue, or you can get fun colors. They do come in assorted tips, so you want to look for the tip you want. This is the 0.7 millimeter. It's just their fine tip. So if I was using them, I would probably want extra fine. But these are one of the most popular tips, the 0.7 millimeter. We love Crayola. I just do not buy any other matte pencils other than Crayola. Now I know they have better ones like Prisma, but as far as cheaper matte pencils go for kids, we stick with Crayola. And I get my son a set of these for homeschool. His last ones lasted 2 years, and they're still lasting, but they're about worn down to where they're sharpened down to the cup. So, and some of them are even more than that. So this year he gets a whole new set. We get a 50 color set for him because we find so many uses for these in homeschool. And it is so fun to have 50 colors, you guys. Even for me, sometimes when I'm doing coloring or stuff with him, it's fun to have a 50 color range. And they last a long time. So we get the Crayola 50 color set for homeschool. Now my son for middle school, he only needs the 12 color set. And he doesn't even want this extra big set for his desk or anything at home, because he's not big into extra coloring or anything. So that's just what we get for him for school. But it's fun to have the all 50 colors if your kids like to draw or color, or they do a lot of homework with coloring. Go ahead and get them the 50 set. They'll think it's so fun at the homework station. We always just have our basic Crayola fine tip markers because there's always stuff that you need to do with these babies. So yeah, we have these in a jar, the basic Crayola fine tip markers. I'm a big person on that. From teaching school, I got all different brands of things when I was a teacher. And you know what? The name brands really do last longer and work better. They are just better. I have to say it. And the price difference is so minor and so minimal that I just don't see any point in not buying the name brand. I always buy the Elmer's glue sticks, always get the Fiskar scissors, because we keep these all over our house, you guys. Literally. I have a pair in the car too, in my purse sometimes. These small scissors can fit anywhere and they work really good to cut anything, and Fiskars will last for years. Now, I understand you not wanting to spend the extra money if they're just going into group supplies at school and your kid doesn't actually get what they bring, but I would still buy the Fiskars because I would hope that everyone would, and then there would be a better selection of group supplies and most of them would be good ones. But that's just how I think after being a teacher and a mom. So now let's get into a few other things. Klump Books for like middle school, my older son, they've now started making, which he needs for several classes, they've now started making this slip cover. It's the first year we've seen it by Mead. So it's the first year we've gotten it. We're going to try it. Now he likes to still get wide ruled even though he's in middle school. His teachers let him choose. He likes that because he said sometimes they say you have to fill up the page with a certain amount of writing and journaling, and he doesn't want college ruled to have to write a ton more. So he always picks wide ruled. But this is what's cool. Last year, Mead started making these, but they didn't have a slip cover. But they started making a couple years ago 70 count instead of 100 count Klump books. Now, why is that important? Well, because in our middle school, my son is not allowed to carry around a backpack during the day. You can carry a backpack to school, but from class to class, you are not allowed to carry a backpack all day long. So if you have to have, let's say, 3 or 4 Klump books for different classes, and they never end up using the full 100 pages, it just is thicker and heavier to carry everywhere with you. So this way, I would highly recommend if your kids don't need all 100 pages, literally, I mean, he would never even use this full 70 count for most of the things the teachers requested it for, ever. So they should probably start making a 50 count. So there's no point in needing the 100 count and having it thicker and heavier. So this is just lighter and more portable, and we'll see how we like this slit cover of this Mead composition book. This is just from Target. Make sure you look for the right ruling that you need when you're grabbing your school supplies and for the count that you want. I believe these only come in 70 or 100. 100 is their basic that they've made for years with the cardboard speckled cover that we all know. I didn't bring one up here, but we have some of those left in our cabinet too. All right, now, clipboards are something I think you should always have around the house. I just like these cheap wooden ones from Target. They're great in homeschool, of course, but they're great even when my older son wants to work in bed, or when he wants to work on the floor, or when I need to work on something around the house. We have a couple clipboards. They're cheap at Target. They're helpful. Also, our favorite pencil bag over the years, which they don't sell at Target anymore. I cannot find these. It's not a certain brand. You could look at Staples or Office Max. I haven't gone there. Now we have plenty stocked up, but I had some luck in finding some on Amazon a couple years ago. And I think I found some on Target.com this year when I was just randomly looking at school supplies, but we didn't need any more. So the reason why I love these is literally they've lasted for years. They have never torn up. And you can see everything in it because it's perfectly see-through. Now I do wish, we do have a blue one, a lighter color on the back, but my son being older always wants black. But a lighter color on the back lets you see what's in here easier. But you can see pretty well because it's perfectly see-through. The pencil bags you can't see through, I don't get, because kids are just digging. They can't see what's in there. They can't even see when it's a mess. They can't see when they need new pencils or what to clean out. So I love that it is 100% see-through. Also that it's not mesh, because pencils put off a lot of lead and erasers and yucky stuff. Pencil lead, all the colored pencils, everything gets in here, junked out. And so if you have mesh, that's all going to dump out like in your notebook or wherever you're carrying it. So I like it to be all locked away in there, all the mess of the lead and shavings and such. The zippers have never broken, and we've actually used these bags for years in a row. Years. The rivets never break because they're so tough. It's just so lightweight and durable. So if you can find any pencil bags like this for cheap, and your kids need pencil bags, I would highly recommend picking up some like this. All right. We are down to my pen case. Now, if you watched my pen video, you have seen this, but I just had to add this in because I think for kids who get to carry a backpack around school, which my son doesn't, he would totally want a pen case like this because he said he's sick of everything getting mashed up, you know, in his zipper bag. So this pen case or any other cheap one on Amazon, this one I will link below in this video, and I have a whole video actually just about this pen case. It's on Amazon, and it's only about $9 or $10. But let me tell you something about it. The older version is the one with the red labels, when they only made black and lime green and orange. Look for the red label. The newer version, I ordered one. They don't have the red label. I think it's black or gray. They have better colors, but it is not made out of the same material. This material is pretty thick. It doesn't just bend in on itself so easily, and it has some structure to itself. And it just seems really well made and like it will hold up for a long time. The newer one I ordered, I ended up sending back in the better coloring because their newer black is lined in gray instead of brown, and I liked that. Okay, but it doesn't have a red label, so look for the red label if you want the old good one, and the link will be below. This one is just way better, and it's the same price. So unfortunately, in the new colors, they're not making it the same way out of the same material, and it doesn't feel as sturdy. So you can stick some of my favorite new school supplies that I found, you know, earlier this year were the mild liners, and I talk about these in my pen video. You can find them on Amazon. They are a double-ended also, so it's really fun to have that tip besides the normal slanted highlighting tip. And these just come in more mild colors than your fluorescent highlighters. Man, I wish I would have had these in college. Of course, I love my Papermate Flare pens. I do just love those and the colors they come in. These are the only colors I have, though. I haven't gone crazy buying a ton of other colors of those. And I keep one of all my favorite pens in here. I keep some little Post-it notes, which I use in my planners. So my Sharpie pen, one of my new favorite pens, the Energel by Pentel, which I have talked about on my Instagram before. But I have a whole pen video talking about pens. One other thing I wanted to mention is this small 6-inch ruler that I got off Amazon. I'm sure you can find it many other places, but I bought it at a non-back-to-school time. It wasn't overpriced or anything, but I don't remember how much it was. But it is a 6-inch ruler, so it fits in this case perfectly. But it also fits in my son's notebook at school perfectly. He doesn't want a big bulky ruler. There's not much that they have to use a ruler for. And he just requested one of these when he saw mine because he went all last year without a ruler. But he's like, that's so tiny and light, and it can fit in his zipper bag in his notebook, and just if you need to measure anything little. So I love that ruler. That's another favorite school supply. I wanted to add this in also as a favorite school supply, even though it almost doesn't fit into this section, but it is a book holder. And for a younger child or even an older child, if they want to be reading while sitting up at a table, like my younger son likes to read a lot at lunch, then this holds any book in here. You stick it in and you push this back on the pages. This is from Amazon. I bought this more than a year ago, but if I can find this one, I will link it below. And the back stand can be taken to any level. So you just pull it to whatever you want the angle to be, and then you clip that and it sits at the right angle. And you can have a book sitting right here, and this holds your pages in. Even if it's a tiny softback book, like let me grab this. That one's kind of bigger. Let me grab this Jack and Annie one and show you guys. Let me lean it back. So we're going to lay it down just to show you, but even these little softback ones, which don't have much to them, these like first chapter books, this holds your pages down and holds it in. So you can be sitting up at the table and reading, or even sitting on the coffee table and sitting in front of it and reading. So this is just a cool thing to have at home. Or if your older child needs to be typing from a book or looking at a big book while they're typing something on the computer, this is nice to hold that book too. So I wanted to add that into our favorite school supplies. Okay, this is my favorite manual pencil sharpener. And I guess it's called the Carl Angel 5. I bought it years and years ago, probably at least 6 years ago on Amazon. I will try to find it though and link it for you because I know they're still making it. What this is, you have to learn how to use it, teach your kids how to use it, but it's easy. You pull this out to stick your pencil in and it goes in as you sharpen it. No other pencil sharpener will get your pencil this sharp as this pencil sharpener. It is amazing. The only problem I have with it is the little feet on it. I guess they gather the black stuff. We always have to put a paper towel or a white piece of paper under this when we're sharpening because it just gets black marks all over the counter. After a while, I guess all the black lead comes out. It's really easy to empty this. It just slides right out like that. And lots of teachers love having this in their classroom. So this is a great manual pencil sharpener that will never break. But it does not sharpen colored pencils well, we learned. I'm not sure about that, but since we have a lot of colored pencils to sharpen, this X-ACTO sharpener, also from Amazon, it's X-ACTO brand, electric sharpener. It was a little bit more expensive. I think it's near $30. I'm not sure. I will try to find it and link it below, or a similar one because I've had this for several years. This one has been great, and we do all our colored pencils in it, but we also do our normal pencils in it when we need to sharpen a whole bunch at once. But honestly, that green manual one is not hard to sharpen a whole bunch at once either, once your kids learn how to do it. And we love this one because it just puts a different tip on the pencils. It's sharper than even this one. It's different. It's a really sharp tip that usually doesn't break easily. So those are our two favorite pencil sharpeners. I think that rounds out everything, you guys. I just tried to pick out some of our favorites in the school supply basics. All right, so I will see you next time. Have fun with back to school shopping and best wishes for this new school year. See you next time.